Hey guys, it's Bethany. I'm just coming on here. Hope everyone's having a great week being in isolation. So, for my company I work for, it is called Axalta Coating Systems. I am a lab technician and it is a paint supplier for automotive mostly. We work with Ford, Tesla, GM, Honda. Where else? We work for John Deere also. So we do a lot of different types of things. We do eco, light vehicle, commercial vehicle, refinish. So I work in the research and development area, and I work for Honda and Nissan for the Japanese automotive. And I strictly just do color. Some people do different types of properties, but I just do strictly color. So some of the examples that I'm going to give you for control process, one of them is how it works. So a lot of times a chemist, like my chemist for example, would make a formula, and then that formula would go into a system. Manufacturing out on the floor would make that paint, that batch of paint, and then the quality analyst group, which is also called QA, would check the batch. Then QA would adjust the paint if needed to the certain specifications that we need. So a lot of times the pH needs to be between a certain range, usually like 8.1 to 8.7. And then another thing is called the CAP 50, which is a certain range of how thick or thin your paint is, and usually needs to be about 75 to 115 if you're doing waterborne base paint. So they do that. Then if it's up to the standard, usually the lab technician, such as myself, would spray out the paint. If the color looks good enough, then they'll send it out to the plant. So that's one of the processes that we deal with. Another process that we deal with is our spray booths. So I, as a lab technician, I have to go and spray in these booths. The way that we deal with it is we control the temperature in there, the humidity, the airflow. It's constantly getting monitored and adjusted. For example, if I work with color, as I said, but some people work with properties, and if the temperature is over 75 degrees, how about it was 80 because it's hot outside, because sometimes the air outside, the weather outside can affect how we work inside, and sometimes we can't change it. So it might be 80, 85 degrees, and then I can't spray because it's too hot and it'll affect my paint drastically. And usually humidity needs to be between 65 and 70. It can be up to 75, but you really don't want it to be that hot. So those are two things that we would deal with. One more thing that I would have for a control process would be inventory. So everything for inventory is all digital, and we basically do this for all our raw materials that are coming in for us to make all our paint. It gets scanned in and scanned out on the floor all the time, so we know if we run low of some type of product or any type of material that we need. So, because if we run low on anything, then production gets delayed, we get delayed, everything gets delayed, and then it's just us waiting around for all our other material to come in. So, question number 2, what metrics are being tracked? As I just said, inventory is a big one. We have to make sure everything's in there intact for our daily tasks. So such as me, when I work in my area, I work mostly with waterborne paint, and we have chores where we have to check to make sure we have inventory in our shelves, and I have to check that. And if I don't have it and they don't make it on the floor, I have to let someone know. I have to email someone and let them know that works in that area that, hey, we need this color paint, we need this dispersion for this color to make it, because if we don't, then we're out, and then it backs up other people that might need that same color. When it comes to batch work from the plant, QA usually is monitoring everything that comes in, comes out. So it's more organized and it's a faster pace for everyone from each different plant, from different countries that it comes from, in Asia or even Mexico, countries like that. For number 3, what areas of control? We deal with almost every area of control, but I just picked a few. Planning. Every group needs to plan. If we don't plan for each team, then we're not going to know anything. Everything needs to get done in a timely manner. We need to have a step-by-step, basically like a to-do list. What is needed first? What is needed second? What is more needed? Because if I come into work and, they give me 7 things and 7 different types of projects, but I don't really know, maybe the one on the bottom is the one that needs the most, but they're giving me something that isn't due till maybe December. That's the first thing. So I need to know what's due more so then we can get that out faster. And then the plant's not asking for it all the time. And it's a faster process. Organization can be a very big downfall in this company. I've noticed that a lot of teams are struggling or they're not communicating the right way in a lot of things. And you need to be on the same page with everything. Everyone needs to know what the other person is doing, because if you don't, how are you going to have a successful, process in your projects? And, because one person might say this, but then in another group, we might say one thing, but then they call the plant. They're like, oh, no. Quality analyst said that this is fine. And then, you talk to the salespeople and they're saying, why is this not sent out? What is going on? It's a big fiasco. So organization is one of the downfalls, but that's one thing that we need to work on. Because if we have that, then we won't keep having the same problems. Control, I think, is the biggest thing in this company. You need to have control of what's going on. And a lot of departments do. Chemists need to figure out what they need to get done, what they need to tell their techs to get done, because if they don't tell us what needs to get done, then a lot of things are not going to be processed in time, and we're just not going to understand what's going to happen next. So it's a big thing with control. So I would say that would probably be the main one. For number 4, what levels of control is utilized? So for batch work, loading and inventory, I would say it's operations and engineering. They do most of that area. Technical takes care of the formulas and batch adjustments, or at least the recommendations for the batch adjustments. Spray booths, if we have a problem, we usually call the powerhouse, or that's also the control group or the engineering group. If something is not getting elevated, the temperature is not working, we're having issues in the spray booths, like the machines aren't working, we would call the control groups, because they're the ones that know the machines the most. And a lot of us don't understand what's going on. We try to troubleshoot them and they're not working. So it's just a big fiasco of electricity and technology. We also have service for the customers. When they're having problems, we have to follow the paint to the customer as well, which can include tech service guys, sales managers. They're usually out all the time at different plants in various locations. And that's also a combination of digital and personal controls. So that's pretty much what I got from all of this from my company. So if you guys have any questions, just reply back to me. Just let me know. I hope you guys are having a great week. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.